Hello again, racing fans. Welcome. Looking ahead to racing on the weekend around the country. No racing done in Cape Town, which means we're racing on the Highveld and KZN respectively on Saturday and Sunday. Sunday, we've got racing in KZN at Hollywoodbets Greyville, and on Saturday, the Highveld meeting is at Turffontein, where the first race on the program gets underway at 12:15, and there are 9 races to look forward to on the card. We're on the inside track, and 5 minutes before the advertised starting time of the first, you need to have on your free Hollywoodbet Punter Challenge entry. Put in your selections, take the bet slip. Very important, you need to take the bet slip, because that is what puts you in line for that life-changing jackpot prize. Let's see how many winners we can find as we work our way through this Turffontein inside track meeting, where the first race on the card is a maiden juvenile plate for fillies. This race to be run over 1450, and a field of just 8 runners carded to contest the opening event on the program. At first glance, I thought it was a boat race between number 1 Back from War and number 2 Concordia. But on closer inspection, I decided, nope, I'm going to side with number 1 Back from War, because I do think she is much better than her last start suggests. Having said that, she took on winners, and it was at feature race level. She contested the listed Ruffian Stakes, and she was reported to have choked up. The horse that finished second that day in the listed Ruffian Stakes was a horse called Green Diamond, who subsequently last Saturday had come out and franked that form by winning the Grade 2 SA Nursery. So there's certainly lots to like about that form line. She now gets the services of Craig Zaki. I do think she'll enjoy the step up in trip and must have a chance on the good penultimate race she's run. So I'm going 1 Back from War to win race 1, ahead of 2 Concordia, I think is the biggest danger. For third, number 3 Fair Proposal, and fourth, number 8 Witching Hour. 1, 2, 3, 8, the numbers in the opener. We move on to race 2, a maiden plate over 1200, a field of 9 runners carded to contest race 2. Remind you, it is the opening leg of the bipot, so you need to have those bipots on by 12:50. Again, having looked at this race, I thought a boat race between number 1 Old Fashioned and number 3 Curtis Condor. Who am I going with? I'm leaning towards number 1 Old Fashioned. Now, this horse finished runner-up in its last 2 starts. The way that this horse was staying on when second best over 1,000 meters certainly suggests that this horse will enjoy the step up to 1,200 meters. If you look at the form, you'll see he's edging closer to recording that maiden victory. And Old Fashioned also happened to be trainer Clinton Binder's only runner on the day. And we know more often than not, when a trainer sends 1 runner to the track, he comes home with 1 winner, having recorded a 100% strike rate for the day. So I'm going 1 Old Fashioned to win the second race on the card. Ahead of 2 Curtis Condor, I think is the biggest danger. For third, number 6 Misty Metal, and fourth, number 4 Mistakes. 1, 3, 6, 4 in race number 2. Third race of the day is a maiden plate fillies and mares to be run over 1,200 meters, and a field of 9 runners will contest the third race on the card. This, of course, is the running of the opening leg of the place accumulator. You need to be on a 13:25. One of the more trickier races on the card, I thought, because if you look at it, you can certainly make a case for more than one of them. By nailing my colours to the mast, I'm siding with Sean Terry and Craig Zaki, and I'm going with number 2 Trail Runner. Now, this horse finished third in its last 2 outings. The latest was against the boys. And if one looks at that form line, you'll see that the horse that finished just ahead of her in second was a horse called Pumpkin Pie, who has subsequently come out and won since. So that's given the form line a boost. She's back against her own sex, and I do think against the girls, she does rate the one to beat. I'm going 2 Trail Runner, ahead of 6 Blind Fire, 7 Bright and Brazen, and 1 On a Jet Plane. Fourth race is the first leg of the Pick 6, and I know many people will be chomping at the bit to get involved in the Pick 6. Graduation plate over 1450, 7 runners are carded, and you need to be on by 2 o'clock if you are going to be playing a Pick 6 on Saturday. Now, when it comes to these graduation plates or any of those plate races, you know, the first thing I do is I look at who is the best weighted. And in this case, it happens to be number 1, Aristotle. This horse has got good recent form, hung over the final 400 last time out, but certainly was trying every inch of the way, all the way to the wire, when second best on the stand side over 1600. If you look at the form, you'll see 4 runs ago that this horse won over 1400 metres. And being the best weighted runner in the race, I do think can bounce back to winning ways. So I'm going 1, Aristotle, to beat 2, Give Me Another Chance, 3, Royal Force, and 4, The Africa House. Fifth race, first leg of the jackpot. 1435 is the off. Another graduation plate. This time round, it's for the girls of 1450. 9 runners contesting the fifth race on the card. Again, who is the best weighted runner? In this instance, it's number 1, Frozen Fantasy. She was the winner of her last start. She showed pace, and the saddle slipped on that occasion. So that certainly was a win full of merit. Being the best weighted in the race, I do think she can follow up with another win, make it back-to-back. So I'm going 1, Frozen Fantasy, to beat 2, Pointer, 3, Franceline, and 6, Glamorous Lady. Sixth race, another tricky affair. A merit rate at 80 handicap over 1450. 9 runners carded to contest race 6 on the program. And after umming and eyeing quite a bit, I needed to decide who I'm going to be going with. I'm siding with number 3 plus 4 as my first choice selection. Now this horse won its debut start for the new stable on the Highveld over the course and distance when finding lots of bidding support. In fact, they put the lights out on plus 4 last time out, from 20 to 1 down to 12 to 10. The money poured onto this horse. Now, the form line of that particular race has held up very well. Both After Hours, who finished 3rd, and Princess Ilaria, who finished 7th in that race, have come out and won since. Gavin Larena retains the ride. Plus 4 is having his second run after rest, so he should strip much fitter this time round, and I do think can go back-to-back. So 3 plus 4 to win it, ahead of 4 Corrupt, 6 There Is Light, and 2 Just VAR. Seventh race on the program is a merit rate at 96 handicap to be run over 1800 metres. Here we have 12 runners to contest the 7th race on the program. I think it's the first time we've got double-figure runners that will be making their way out onto the track. And here I'm going with number 1, La Mohal, as my first choice selection. This horse was running on at the finish when 3rd last time out over this distance. That was on the stand side track. Gavin Larena is booked to ride, and I do think Gavin will give him all the necessary assistance from the saddle to run an absolute cracker. He's well drawn, he's having his 3rd run after rest, so he's cherry ripe to give us a run for our money. 1 Lama Hall to win it, ahead of 3 Hawk Bull, 2 Flashy Apache, and 5 Star Coin. That takes us on to the penultimate race on the program, race 8, which is a merit rate at 80 handicap to be run over 1800 metres. A field of 9 runners carded to contest race 8. Here I'm going with number 2, Dancing King, purely because this horse quickened up very nicely when winning last time out over 1600 metres. That was on this course. The horse that finished 3rd that day was a horse called Solar Sail, who has come out and won since to give the form line a boost. Dance King is having his 2nd run after rest, so he should strip a lot fitter. Wesley Mowing retains the ride, and I do think Dance King can go back-to-back. So 2 Dance King to win the 8th, ahead of 3 DJ Junior, 6 Dark Silver, 9 Gamer. That takes us on to the last race on the program. Last race jumps at 1655. Race 9 merit rated 76 handicap. A race for the girls over 1200. 11 runners carded to contest race 9. And here I'm siding with number 3, Gregarious. Purely because this horse won under Gavin Larena when it shed its maiden tag. But it's the post-maiden run that certainly caught my attention. It was a very good 4th when running in its post-maiden last time out over 1400 on the stand side track. You'll see she's very lightly raced. Gavilarina's now back on board. She jumps from the middle of the pack, and I do think she should continue to improve to feature prominently in a race of this nature. So I'm going 3 Gregarious to win the Lost, ahead of 4 One Party, 1 Exceedingly Glam, and 5 In the Ether. 3, 4, 1, 5, the numbers in the Lost, and that takes care of our race meeting at Turffontein on Saturday afternoon. Trust it will be an enjoyable and profitable day for you. Till next time from me, Rouvaun, take care. Cheers for now.